Oh, Phillies lose 5-1 to the Pittsburgh Pirates. Drop the second game of the series and get 3 hits the entire game. Yeah, it's absolutely disgraceful. You win 6-1 the night before and you follow up with a 3-hit performance with only 1 run. Really? Just an absolute joke. This game was an absolute joke. It was insanely boring. You just saw my intro to the video. It was just basically me sleeping. That's what it was. It was a boring, dry baseball game. It was all those things combined. It was very boring. I mean, after a good, solid win last night, you follow up with this crappy, boring, whatever you want to call it, any words of those nature you want to put together. That's what the game this game was. It was extremely boring. I mean, it really was. Sometimes baseball can be really boring to watch, and tonight was one of those games. You have a rain delay, and the Phillies had a little momentum there, and I don't want to blame the rain, but it looked like they had runners on second and third. It kind of throwing a couple hits together, and this was in the top of the fifth, and they're kind of starting to get their act together a little bit. Rain came, yeah, and kind of messed everything up. I mean, I don't want to blame the rain, but you never know. The mentality of the game could have changed, and a little bit frustrating. So let's pick it up. Bottom of the third, Reynolds singles. McGrove comes around the score. It's now 1-0 Pirates. Same inning, starting Marte doubles. Reynolds scores. It's now 2-0. Josh Bell singles. Marte scores. It's now 3-0. Top 5, Adam Easley grounds out to the first baseman. Nice job to get the run in. Miller comes around the scores. Hernandez goes to third, and after that was the end of the game. Not the end of the game. That's when the tarp had to come onto the field for the rain delay. So as I said, that kind of messed up the mentality of the game. Like I said, I don't want to blame that for the reason why we lost this baseball game. Simply no excuse. You still have to come out and win the baseball game, and you still have to come out with the same mentality. But I think we were gaining a little momentum there. We kind of struggled early on. I think we kind of figured out McGrove a little bit, and then we kind of just lost our momentum there. So disappointing, to say the least. It was disappointing. So, so we only get that one run out. We have a runner at third, one out. Nick Williams just goes down and strikes. He is an absolute disaster. He really is. He's a disaster. And don't try to sweet talk me and tell me that, he's a bench player, he should be starting. Bryce Harper's the reason why he's struggling. Don't tell me that. That's a BS excuse, and everybody knows it. And he's not a good player, and I can't even make contact with the baseball. And I understand it may be hard to get into a groove if you're a bench player, but he's a crybaby. I've talked about this before, and I'm not a Nick Williams fan. If you are, I'm sorry. Okay, I'm just going to tell you as it is, because I'm kind of just done with this guy. I really am. He's a disaster. So he goes down and strikes. Bottom sixth inning, Michael Cabrera grounds into a double play, but Dickerson was able to come around the score. It's now 4-1 Pittsburgh. Then in bottom of seventh, we have Colin Moran doubling off of the newest Philly from the Minnesota Twins, Mike Moran. Mike Moran. Welcome to Philly. Give us a RBI double to Moran. Two doubles. Marte, who actually hit a double earlier in the inning, comes around the score. It's now 5-1. And that's your ball game. 5-1 your final score. A anemic offensive night. 3 hits. A 3-hit night for this ball club. Really disappointing. And JT Realmuto goes down on strikes 3 times tonight. I mean, it just feels like every night he's just making an ugly swing. I mean, it really does. And I know it's easier said than done, but he's really just his swings just look. He struck out 4 times. Excuse me. I knew he struck out at least. He struck out 4 times. I apologize. 4. He went 0 for 4 with 4 strikeouts. That is a disaster. He was way late on the fastball. Swinging at pitches in the dirt. It's just like, oh my God, this gives me a headache. It really does. This gives me migraine. It really does. To see him sweet swing, way late on the fastball. Really disappointed in JT. I really am. I mean, I understand everybody has an off night, but his strikeouts, I mean, they're really ugly. They really are. So let's take it up. Scott Kering 0 for 3. Segura 2 for 3. Harper 0 for 3. He walked once. He struck out once. He hit the ball twice. He grounded into a double play. He hit the ball sharply. So he did hit the ball hard twice. His average now dropped to 258. I mean, it just seems like when he gets it like close to 260, then he goes 0 for 3. I talked about this before. It's so frustrating. Eventually, there will be a point where he'll get it above 260, and I do think he'll finish the year. He will not be in the 250 batting average for the year. I think he'll be around 260, 270. So I'm not worried about Harper. You can't get a hit every game. It's very hard to do. So today was just his off day, and he still was able to hit the ball hard twice. So I'm not worried about him. Hoskins is the one I'm worried about. 0 for 4. He just looks terrible. He's now batting 256. Harper's power numbers have been better than him as of late. Really. Hoskins, I mean, I don't know. What's going on? I mean, I don't know. It's a mental thing. He's in that slump right now. Not hitting the ball at the ballpark. His average is just dropping dramatically. It's very alarming for they should be concerned about this. I mean, I'm hoping he'll come out of it, but he just has. It's been ugly. And he needs to start producing. He really does. It's been frustrating. As I said, we reached 0 for 4 strikeouts. That's a very ugly performance. And then you have Brad Miller going 0 for 3. And then we have Hernandez going 1 for 3. And we have Hazley going 0 for 3. And Eflin going 0 for 1. Nick Williams going 0 for 1. And Franco going 0 for 1. And Segura gets 2 or 3 hits. And then we have Zach Eflin. Yay, another great outing. 4 innings. Now, granted, the Ranger League messed him up. 4 innings, 5 hits, 3 earned runs, 3 strikeouts. 4.25 ERA. He's now 7-10. He's just been a disaster. Obviously, they only gave up 3 earned runs in the 4. He probably would have pitched a little bit more innings, but not good. Not good. It's not going to win you a ball game. Eflin got off to a great start this year. He just sucks. You know, plain and simple. I mean, we've seen this with him before in his career. Like, he just seems to be great, and he just goes into phases that last for a while that he just sucks. He's flat out sucks. He's one of those phases right now. Maybe he'll come out of it and start hitting. I don't care. That's not how it works in this game. If you're going to be a player like that, a good Major League Baseball team is not going to want you. They're not. They want guys who are consistent. And I know it's very hard to do in this game. There are very few people who could do it. And that's why there's very, very, very few good players in this game. Nick Pivetta, most of them are failures. This is the way the game works. Nick Pivetta, 2 innings, 3 hits, 1 earned run, 1 strikeout, 1 walk. I guess putting him in the bullpen, this isn't helping. I don't know what to think of him anymore. Warren, the new guy, 2 hits, 1 earned run. Yeah, welcome to Philly. He has a 3.42 ERA. He could help us. I mean, I know it's his first outing and first pitching performance in Philly, but you got to take that, with consideration that this is only his first. So just let him settle in. We'll see how he does. Salas, 1 inning, 3 hits, 1 strikeout. So tomorrow it's to be determined, but as of right now, obviously the Phillies signed yesterday. I forgot to say it. Phillies signed Drew Smyly to a contract, and he is going to be to a major league contract, and he's going to be starting. He's a left-handed pitcher. That's one thing I like about him, and this takes a little bit more pressure off of some of the guys in our rotation. Now, you got to keep in mind that he's 1-5 with its 8.42 ERA. Okay, he's with the Milwaukee Brewers, and he was with the Texas Rangers. In those numbers. Last year, he was 7-12 with a 4.88 ERA in 2016. So that was 3 years ago. And then in 2015, he was 5-2 with a 3.1 ERA. And then in 2013, if you go all the way back, he was 6-0 with a 2.37 ERA. So he's had a lot of injuries over the course of his career. He was 30 years old. He's just kind of a banged-up pitcher. Like I said, 1-5 with an 8.42 ERA. I mean, I don't know. He's a left-hander. So another guy to throw out there. I mean, it's not anything special. I mean, meh. That's what I think the signing is. Meh. Some guys are excited. I mean, whatever. I mean, he's not anything special. I mean, if he's going to help us win a baseball game, maybe. A couple of baseball games, yeah, sure. But not a game changer. This is not like a blockbuster move. Like this isn't like something. Wow, look what the Phillies just did. Like this isn't that big of a deal. Like I'm not that taken away from it. You know what I'm saying? So whatever. I mean, we got him. You know, he's just kind of an average, mediocre pitcher. I mean, nothing else to it. I mean, he's not terrible. But he's not great. I mean, you know, 1 of 5 of the 8.42 ERA is nothing to go crazy about. And he has 51 and a third innings of work, 52 strikeouts, and a 1.91 WHIP. That's not good. That's not his WHIP isn't great. It wasn't good where it should be, and so just whatever. I mean, I don't know what to think of the signing. I mean, whatever. I mean, I don't really care. I mean, sure, another arm to throw out there. You know, he's had some good numbers in the past, but those numbers have been like 5 years ago. You know, like 2013. That's 6 years ago now, and obviously 2016 he had a good season. That's 3 years ago. So he's injured. He's been banged up. I mean. So I don't know how much gas he really has left in the tank. I mean, if he's gonna, like I said, help us win a baseball game, that's fine. But all right, these are not bad moves. But if this is it, and you're not going to go out and any other pitchers, then that's a problem. Okay, if they stopped here, now this isn't bad. These are not bad pickups. But if you stop here, then that's when I get pissed off. Like the organization says, okay, we're content with the pitching. Let's just sit back and see what happens. No, you cannot have that attitude because they got rid of the August 31st trade deadline, the waiver trades. So now you can't do that anymore. So now you're forced to go out and get a legit starting pitcher. Drew Smiley, this guy is not a legit starting pitcher. Those numbers I just told you are not legit. They really aren't. So I don't think you can really trust this guy. You have to go out and get like a pretty good pitcher. You know, I talked about some names. I mean, I think a realistic option for the Phillies is Matthew Boyd. He's not pretty good. I say he's just pretty mediocre, but he could help the rotation out a little bit. I do not think that Marcus Stroman is a realistic option for this team. Possibly they could pull it off. Madison Bumgarner is not happening. Do not get your hopes up about that. Robbie Ray, did the Diamondbacks really want to trade Robbie Ray or Zach Greinke? Zach Greinke does not want to come here. There's a no trade clause, and the Phillies were on that team. So I don't know. And that was a couple months ago. I don't know if he's changed it, but you think the Diamondbacks want to trade these guys? I mean, they're in a wild card push. And I understand the Giants have been absolutely horrible this year. If you look at the big picture, they're playing better baseball, and they're not that far out of a wild card spot. So I don't know, and I'm not getting Madison Bumgarner either way. So I don't know, man. It's crazy. I mean, so we'll see. We'll see who goes and who stays, right, on these teams. It's pretty interesting. So the Phillies are going to get something. They're going to get something. But you have a lot of competition with Marcus Stroman, obviously. So I don't know. I really don't know. It's I don't know who we're gonna get. I was like wrong last year. I was wrong about like Machado and everything. I was really hoping that we would have went out and got Machado. And by the way, guys, I was told there was, the Cardinals were actually about to go out and get Ken Giles a couple of days ago, and I said that they got him, and apparently that deal just fell through or something. I don't know what happened, but he's still on the Toronto Blue Jays, so he's still available. I don't know how realistic he really is, and I'm going to make a video about this. I'm going to make a video about the Ken Giles trade that took place in December of 2015 when we traded Ken Giles for like Vin Velasquez and Mark Appel. I'm going to go through that trade and talk about what a disaster it was, and that's really backfired on his organization. And I'm going to, little criticize Matt Klentak. I don't want to criticize him too much, but I'm going to say that I wasn't impressed with the trade. So that's a video that's going to be coming in the future. Just letting you know, guys, get ready for that video. So I'm looking forward to making that video. So, yeah, I mean, you have Ken Giles out there. I think the Cubs were really in on him before they got Krimble, so I'm glad that the Cubs are off that. So the Phillies could go out and, reacquire him. Stroman's still a possibility. I don't know how realistic that really is. Stroman's a little bit overrated in my opinion. He hasn't shown me that much. Last year he had a disaster year. I understand he was hurt last year, but there's just some years it's just off and on. Like I think in 2016 he had a bad year, and he came back next year and had a good year. Like he's just too shaky. I need a guy who's consistent. But if this guy's gonna help us win baseball games, and I'd love to have him. He's not tall at all. He's a little guy, but I love that because like he doesn't care. Like he says height doesn't measure heart, and he's 5'7". I mean, height doesn't measure heart, and he's right about that. And I'm actually taller than the guy, really. I mean, seriously, I am. I think I'm like 5'10" or 5'11". I don't know how tall I am. I'm taller than him. So, height doesn't measure heart. So it's nice to have like that personality on your team. We already have a good personality like Rhys Hoskins, Bryce Harper. It would be nice to have Marcus Stroman on this ball club. This team would be a big, huge personality with him on this team. So I would like to have Marcus Stroman. That would be a good pickup. Like I said, I don't know how realistic it is happening, so I'm not going to get my hopes up. But we've sent scouts to the Toronto Blue Jays games to go scout Marcus Stroman and see how he's doing. So just check in, see how good he's pitching. So another teams have too. The Yankees. I heard that he would love to be a Yankee. You hear that from everybody because it's New York media. He'd love to be a Yankee. You heard that with Machado. You heard that during the offseason. And he turned out to never go there. So, so you don't really trust that. And he has no control where he goes. The Blue Jays can just trade him. It's not like a free agent thing where you could decide what team you want to go to. It's not like he has no trade clause like, Zach Greinke or, Bob Gunner or anything like that. So, guys, that is pretty much it. We'll see what happens. I'm anxious to see. So thank you guys so much for watching. Thank you for all the support. Please check my social media link in the description below. I have my Instagram account. It's Phillies Hot Stove. I have my Twitter account. It's called Luke_Vidcast3. And I also have a Bryce Harper fan page called Harper Fanatics. That is on Instagram. Check out my second channel in the link in the description. It's called MLB Mixtape. It's my second channel, as I said, on YouTube. Please smash the like on this video. Please subscribe if you haven't yet. Please tell all your friends about these videos. Shout out to everyone I know personally who watches these videos. Thank you for watching. Thank you. Shout out to everyone who's watching these videos. Special announcement. There's going to be a special guest coming on. It's not going to be like a personal friend of mine. He's actually a YouTuber. And he's very, very smart. He knows a lot about the game. And I'm working on something to get him to come on. So I'm really excited about that. I'm not really going to reveal to you who it is, but yet I'm going to do it like maybe a day before. I'm going to tell you who's going to come on. So I'm really excited about that, guys. Thank you so much for watching. And the Phillies lose 5-1, and they have the rubber game tomorrow. Drew Smiley on the mound. It's supposed to be Drew Smiley, and it's 1:35 the first pitch. So it's to be determined for the Pirates. So we'll see what happens. So guys, that is it. Please, like I said, smash the like, tell your friends about these videos, subscribe. Thank you all so much for watching. I am Luke, and let's go Phillies. Bye.